Tonight on KGW News, a step closer to the picket line in Oregon's second largest school district.
Our members do not want to strike, but they're prepared to do so.
The major sticking points that could soon have teachers walking off the job. Plus,
nobody anywhere in this country saw what Portland saw in 2020.
Preparing for unrest in an election year. How Portland police want to change how they respond to protests. Then later, one foot in front of the other, despite a disease that can sideline her for days.
This was a big, bold challenge to see what else was possible. I've never done anything like this before.
As an athlete tackles back-to-back half marathons on opposite sides of the country. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko. We begin at 11 with new developments surrounding the deadly shooting of a man last month by Clark County Sheriff's deputies on a rural property in Brush Prairie. We have shown you some of the body cam video. Now, court documents provide new and what appears to be disturbing context around exactly what deputies were responding to. Catherine Cook is in the newsroom with that new information. Catherine.
And David, we want to warn our viewers tonight. The details in this case may be upsetting to some. Investigators say a woman was held hostage at gunpoint and raped over several hours. When detectives searched the suspect's home, they found several guns, ammunition, and pipe bombs. New court documents reveal disturbing details about what police say happened in this Brush Prairie RV and the man who lived and died here. It was February 20th. Around 1 a.m., Clark County Sheriff's deputies were called to the RV on a welfare check. Loved ones were concerned about the victim, who'd come here earlier in the day to visit an extended family member. Body cam video shows the moment deputies arrived. They confronted the suspect, 53-year-old Jonathan Scott Gale, and the victim outside.
Is everything okay? What happened?
One deputy talks with the victim, whose voice and image are concealed.
Did a crime occur?
The court documents reveal a long list of alleged crimes. Vancouver police, which is investigating the case, say Gale armed himself with a gun, bound the victim with electrical tape, then raped her for several hours. The victim told detectives during the assault she noticed a video camera set up near the bed and several cell phones lying around. Investigators say they also found guns, drug paraphernalia, and what appears to be pipe bombs inside Gale's RV.
He needs to be detained.
Body cam video shows when the welfare check takes a turn. Deputies start to pat Gale down.
Yeah, weapons on you. I'm gonna pat you down real quick.
No, don't touch me. I'm sick. I have COVID-19.
Investigators say Gale appears to pull a gun from his jacket. Seconds later, 3 Clark County Sheriff's deputies fire their guns.
Drop the gun!
One at a time.
Hey, drop the gun! If you reach for it, force is going to be used against you.
Shortly after that, medics pronounced Gale dead at the scene. Vancouver police are continuing to investigate the case. In the meantime, 5 Clark County deputies involved in the incident remain on leave. David.
Yeah, some difficult details there. Thank you, Catherine. Appreciate the update tonight. Let's get you caught up on tonight's other headlines. The Multnomah County DA's office has dropped charges against a man who was arrested in connection with a deadly stabbing last Friday on the Steel Bridge. The man was arrested Saturday, but the DA's office says there is insufficient evidence in the case. Investigators are looking at video evidence and say it remains an open investigation. Portland police have made an arrest in the case of a November homicide in Parkrose Heights. 40-year-old Nicole Davis was found shot to death in an apartment at 111th and Weidler the day before Thanksgiving. Police identified 30-year-old David Sims Jr. as their suspect. Sims was arrested this morning. He now faces charges that include second-degree murder. And an Aloha High School student was arrested after police say they posted several pictures of themselves on social media with wads of cash, drugs, and guns. This is what deputies say they found in the teenager's car. Evidence includes cocaine and pot and several weapons, including a semi-automatic ghost gun. Investigators say they believe the student, who is a minor, was selling drugs. They say the case is a good reminder for parents and kids to report suspicious activity they hear about or see online.
I just feel sad. I feel sad that they're still fighting to do this. I feel sad that they've gotten to the point where they feel like the only leverage they have is to strike.
That is the perspective of one parent who joined a rally in support of teachers this evening in Oregon's second biggest school district, as hundreds of educators vote this week on whether to hit the picket lines. As Thomas Schultz reports tonight, frustration over the few remaining key issues in Salem-Keizer only seems to be growing.
We don't want to strike, but we will if we have to.
For close to a year, Tyler Skello-Lakeburg and Salem-Keizer Teachers Union leadership have bargained for a new contract. And now tensions are as high as ever. Teachers vote this week whether or not to strike, and picket signs are already stocked at union headquarters.
I never thought we would be in this place and for this to last so long.
While teachers mull over a possible strike, the union and district continue to negotiate, and they're not far from a deal. Skello-Lakeburg says just 3 articles separate the sides. The biggest, teacher workloads. Skello-Lakeburg says Salem-Keizer's proposal could decrease some educators' full-time roles to part-time.
Our district, with the FTE language that they have proposed and the way they have implemented it in the past, could have people working and being paid an hour or 2 less a day, but still teaching the same amount of classes.
We reached out to the district for an interview today. They declined our request. Though Superintendent Andrea Castaneda previously said she doesn't want to make teachers part-time employees. Though with the district facing a $30 million deficit, Salem-Keizer can't agree to teachers' demands.
I think it's very sad.
Gloria Holland is a grandmother of Salem-Keizer students. For decades, she was a teacher, and her daughter is an educator in the district now too. Holland says class sizes are far too large, and teachers underpaid.
I'm just really sad that it's come to this, that the teachers have to fight for their livelihood.
And ideally, she'd like to see a strike avoided.
It's not going to be good. But if this is the only way that the teachers can get what they deserve in this contract, then I'm all for it.
Our members do not want to strike, but they're prepared to do so.
Now, if a strike does happen, the union president Tyler Skello-Lakeburg says it will likely occur in the first or second week of April. But the two sides will continue bargaining. On Wednesday, there will be a marathon bargaining session, Tyler Skello-Lakeburg says. In Salem, Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that one for you. We are learning more this evening about contaminated groundwater in eastern Oregon. It's a topic Pat Doris has covered extensively on the story. So earlier tonight, Pat sat down with the head of the state's Department of Environmental Quality, the DEQ, to ask why for decades it's been unable to stop this pollution from getting worse.
This involves nitrate contamination in aquifer. Those are the huge pools of water under the ground. It's happening all around Oregon and really all around the country for that matter. The nitrates come from farm fertilizers and other sources, and they're bad for your health. In many areas, people with backyard wells pull up that nitrate-laden water and then use it without knowing that it's contaminated. That's happening near Boardman, Oregon, where as many as 10,000 people have access to backyard wells in the contaminated areas. After working on this story for months, one thing that really astounded me, the state of Oregon has known about this problem near Boardman for more than 30 years, and there's been no mandatory actions to stop the pollution from getting worse in those areas near Boardman. The Department of Environmental Quality is the ultimate protector of groundwater. I asked the director, Leah Felden, why the agency has not solved the problem.
So, is it working?
Yes. So, DEQ's been monitoring over the years, and I think you're aware of that. You've seen a lot of our data, and that's exactly right. That's what our data is showing. It's not a good story over the last
it's getting worse.
30 years of collected data. Yeah.
How can that be?
Right. For the most part, I would say a lot of the levels, we test certain areas and they're okay, other areas are not, and we know that domestic wells are at levels that are not safe for drinking water. So I would say DEQ's role over this time period has been that sampling, the analysis. We put out annual reports about the contamination levels. We send the results to the domestic well owners so that they are aware. We notify the counties, we notify the legislature. So we've been in the area, we've been doing this. You're right, things are not improving. And so I think what what's really happening today is a concerted effort to bring in more agencies to look at more diverse authorities.
I also talked with the director about the Port of Morrow, which was recently fined by the DEQ for dumping way too much nitrate-laden water onto farm fields. You can watch our full conversation and all of my past reports on the issue on the KGW YouTube page. Just look for the Tainted Waters section.
Really interesting series there. Straight ahead at 11, a new plan from Portland Police when it comes to protests, what they are asking for now to better prepare for crowd control. Plus, all those blooms and blossoms mean an early start to allergy season, how to make sure the pollen doesn't follow you home.
And it feels like we had an early start to spring with the 70-degree weather we just had, but spring just sprang a few hours ago. Here's the last sunset of winter this year. We'll also take a look at the spring Terminator. No, it's not Arnold Schwarzenegger.